Yo, hey guys, Ken Perryman here, and I am back again with another product. And well, it's this guy right here. Let me show it to you. It is the 9-in-1 folding camping shovel. It's multifunctional, military-style shovel, portable metal detecting shovel if you're using it for that purpose, high carbon steel, entrenching tool. E-tool is what I'm used to knowing about this. I'm ex-military, used to play in the Army for a while. I used to have a little shovel, something similar to this, but not exactly. This has some more features to it. So let me show you something here first real quick, and it is that guy right up there, hashtag sponsored. It just means that the company has sent me the product so I can show you guys all about it. So let me show you all about it. In the package, first, check it out. Nice little carrying handle. You can lock this onto a hook somewhere. You also have kind of a almost Molly style connection, so you can strap this to something if you need to. But one of the cool things about this is it comes in a multi-compartmented device along with a function to show manual, how to use manual kind of thing. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. So it has shovel board, broad end board, yeah. Bottle opener, you have a hoe, a fire bar, fire starter, flint. Let me see, what's 9? Is a whistle. Okay, that's cool. 11 is a hunting knife. Oh, it's a little, okay. 13 is a hammer. It's a sharp point. You have a saw. An emergency knife is 2. Well, I mean, that's the edge of the shovel. So again, you can see all the working conditions, how to use this. And let's see. It does have a bottle opener. You can do all kinds of stuff to hang and hook and cook and cook with. And yeah, it's just, one thing I learned, especially while being in the services, is making one tool, a set of tools or even a specific tool, perform multiple functions. And in that, we're going to show you one that does just that. Now, with the shovel, you have 3 compartments here, or 3 sections. And firstly, pretty good set of threads. We're going to go ahead and give this a good little test on how well, when these lock in, will these vibrate or break loose. There's a lot of threading here. There's a lot of distance, so that's good. If you only have a couple threads, they're going to break away. But if you have something that's threading in quite far and then wants to lock in pretty well, that's really nice. So in and of itself right there, that's a good fulcrum to do prying, to lift, to then again also use the pickaxe, which would be this guy right here. If you wanted to just use the pickaxe portion of it, there you go. Most of the time you'll have it out like this, and then to lock it into position, this is vital. Please make sure that you push this in and lock it down so that it's in position. If it isn't, it's going to wiggle on you. It might snap back, so be careful. But once it's locked in, that's pretty stout. So now you got a pick shovel, and then you got a pickaxe. And we're going to go give this guy a little bit of fun here. Now, it screws the opposite direction, just so you know. And it feels quite smooth. You can then turn this around if you want to and just have the shovel. And you could still twist it like so. And now you have a straight blade, spade, connected shovel process. I like that. I have a little handheld shovel that's in the truck now, in my Jeep now. But further delving into more, be careful of this. This is actually rather sharp. Not so sharp that it'll catch too much, but it's intended to go ahead and saw through some rough wood here. There is some oil on it. That's just to protect it from rusting. And you do have a rather sharp, not excessively sharp, but maybe medium axe sharp around the blade here of the shovel, more so right here on this side. So if you need to chop and do a little bit of wood chopping or whatnot, you got it right there. More so, I want to show you the cool features that are inside. Well, let me back up. Continue to talk about the whole shovel as an entity here. Setup. It's got 2 good rubber handles here. Yeah, so you can use this for, fulcrum for shoveling and whatnot. But even more so, it has this point on the end, which is perfect. If it happens to be anywhere near you, you can use this to punch through a window, break and shatter a window. Great process there. Great idea of that. That's as if the shovel happens to be anywhere near you. Here's your flint stick. Take a knife or some sharp device and you can scrape this and it'll end up firing off little embers that'll light up and spark. Now, inside the tool itself, there are many cases in which you'll see an e-tool that's only about this big. As soon as I can get it unscrewed. And this can be used as just a normal little shovel if you're digging in or trying to clear out maybe, prime example for me, this will be in my Jeep. So if I ever get caught on sand or something, I need to get underneath the Jeep and try to dig out from underneath the tires some loose soil that might be stuck in there. This will be great as a handheld shovel. You can then also do the same thing as you did before with the other one. And that is, so you can then also in turn, if you need to, boop, flip this around, lock it in. There you go. And now you got a little handheld pickaxe if you need to pick, and then of course a shovel if you need to chop through and get into something small. A handheld style like axe even, right? You can then put this back in. You're back to your shovel portion, but you can also use it as a small little axe if you're chopping little pieces of wood or something. Here's something that's pretty cool. You got these compartments as I mentioned. So over on this guy right here, we can unscrew this piece right here. And there you have a knife. Let me get this a little bit better for you. There you go. A knife and a serrated edge cutter. And that knife has got some sharpness to it. What you can do is twist it around, being careful. Lock it into position. About yay. There you go. And now you have a knife with a handle and a saw that you can, and this one is sharper than the one on the shovel. Don't want to cut through my hand, but there you go. You see what I'm talking about. And then of course you can just spin this around. So that's what I'm saying. This is kind of a survival shovel. It's not even kind of, it is. It's got survival hints at it all over the place. So you can take this guy, lock it in, and here's the other cool thing about this is, while it's not necessarily waterproof, but you can put waterproof matches in here and then still slide it in here and it'd be somewhere inside this compartment. You can put like a little Ziploc bags and put other small things in there that you need. It's, again, something that you can adapt and make more useful, even though it's very useful right now. Now, in this side, there's your whistle. I'm not going to blast it, but it'll make some noise. So if you need to get someone's attention, you hear someone a little bit of ways and you're injured or something, you're out in the woods and you need some help, blow that whistle. And then we already showed you this. And you can use the knife in this to spark off and get yourself a fire going. And again, also in the same compartment, because this will only go into here, and this is probably to here. Somewhere in there you could put a little small component, something else, maybe like a little bit of wire, maybe even some fishing wire. You can even use this as a fishing pole if you really needed to. This is pretty well thought out in many cases of using this for a multitude of things. So like I said, then you got this full piece here and you can still pull out this knife section here. And as I said before, turn this around, and now you have a little bit of a longer tool. Maybe you need to reach out a little bit further to slice that branch off a little bit further away, or you're trying to cut something that's just a little bit further away that you can reach. You got this extended tool section. So, guys, we're not done with this yet. We got to actually put it to use. That's one of the things that I want to make sure is can I take this outside? Can I go out in the wilderness, out in the trees and whatnot, and dig it into the ground? Will it dig and do its thing as this whole thing is shown, set up like this, right? So I'm going to try and do the pickaxe, I'm going to do the shovel, see if I can chop through a few branches with this thing, and we're going to see how this guy works out. But look at that. I mean, right there, all that fits in this size. All of this, right? All right, guys. So here we are. We found an area. We want to go ahead and break out our shovel, which I think is really cool. Now, let me show you a couple items real quick that I think are pretty darn cool. Is what you can find inside the whistle. Wow, right? Let's hope that nobody comes running and tries to save me. That's interesting there. So we'll lock this back down. Oh, it's a lot of screws. We're going to screw this handle on here. And I like how stout and strong these are. And while we're doing that, what I do like is that you also have this guy that you can also unscrew. And if you need to, it has got a knife on here, like we said, and a saw. So I'll show you the saw real quick. So, wow, that's a good saw. Right through it. And then even more so, don't want to do it so much on the branch here. You have the ability to use the knife. That is a pretty sharp knife. That is pretty cool. Okay, so taking that off, we're going to go ahead and pop this in, and I'm going to show you more so some of the cool features on the shovel. This is just all really cool all together. Wow, it's a magnolia tree also. Wow. Cool. So, with the shovel, you can take this guy, and honestly, this thing is good enough that it'll probably replace the shovel that I got for my Jeep and for camping. So, set this down. So let's say you need to get into the grounds here. You could do one of two things. You could put just the pick side out, or you could take both of these, just like I've experienced when I was in the service a bit. Lock these in. You could use both hands, but now you can use this. Oh. And then even more so, if you're digging a hole, maybe even more, you lock this out, and this has a little blade on it and a little saw as well. Not bad little saw, but you've got a blade here also. There it is. Now, you can dig it as you see fit. Look at that. That digs in pretty good. And there's a lot of branches, or a lot of roots down here. Yep. And then again, digging in some more, switch it around. You can then pick it. Wow. That does a pretty darn good job. And guys, I hope this was helpful for you. I do appreciate your time, and I'm out.